my God. Yeah, it's a suspension mod. SoCal car scene is insane, and you always see the craziest cars out on the road. Almost to the point where you get a bit jaded, but this weekend, that changed. I saw a car that pretty much stopped me in my tracks. But we're spoiled around here because you just see the most insane stuff on the streets of California, whether it's like a modded car, a supercar, a hypercar, even like an old classic or a patina hot rod. Everything is out here. When I first moved out to California, I remember taking tons of pictures and videos every time I went out. But now, I'm not gonna say that I don't still enjoy it because I still get jazzed seeing cars on the street, but it's almost too much to like take a picture of every single car you see. But this last weekend, Amy and I were out, we were grabbing lunch, we were in the RS, and we were driving up Pacific Coast Highway in Huntington Beach when I see this crazy thing rolling down the street. Don't do it often anymore. I grabbed my phone and I took 2 of the crappiest photos I've ever seen. So later on that day, while I'm sitting around on the couch board, I decided I might as well post a photo of this thing, because how often do you ever see these out in the wild? Never. I post this picture, and then I look at it, and I zoom all the way in on it, and I'm like, that looks like someone holding a cell phone, potentially taking a picture of me. So I go in my tag stories, and there it is. Someone with a Ferrari F50 took a picture of me driving my car, which, I mean, is a surprise, but this is the coolest car ever, so I understand. But still, kind of was like blown away. Immediately, I messaged them. So it's kind of like small world stuff, but it's the car scene. It's pretty small. I actually joke that there's that whole like 7 degrees of separation and you know anyone in the world thing. Well, in the car scene, it's literally 1 degree of separation and you know everyone in the car scene. It's not too far-fetched. So we started talking and they were like, hey, you should come down to our shop. It's in Costa Mesa. Check it out. We'll take it out and go cruise it around. Hell yeah. So my quick idea was let's take my $50,000 Ferrari to go drive around with a $5 million Ferrari. So tomorrow, Jolly and Alex are coming over in the morning and we're gonna roll down to Costa Mesa in the 360 and then we're gonna get to see an F50 out in the wild and go cruise around with it. I am so stoked. For having never even gotten to see one of these things up close and personal, to actually go and cruise my car around on the streets with one is gonna be sick. Today's sponsor is Car Vertical, and it's something I could not support enough. You know me, I buy and sell a lot of cars, and it always starts with knowing the vehicle history. Car Vertical is the most complete vehicle history report available online. It's even more affordable than their competitors. And with their all new website, you can save yourself a ton of risk when going to buy a new car. When I was buying the Ferrari 360, after I ran the vehicle history report on it, I saw that it had a lot of owners. But with the exotic car market, I know that these change hands a lot over the years, so I wasn't super concerned. But I did see that it failed California emissions a bunch of times, which made me look into a whole bunch of other issues it had. Unlike this 360, which has a really dirty history, you could see everything from locations, odometer reading, title status, and damages, and even in some cases, before and after photos. Which is why I always start with the vehicle history report. Use my code VIN to save 20% off your Car Vertical report. I also put the link in the description below because I want to make sure that you guys are making smart decisions on your car purchases. So go get your Car Vertical history report. Let's get back to the episode. Alright, well if we're gonna go cruise around with a $5 million Ferrari, I guess I should wash my car first.
Everything's okay.
Why does this keep happening?
It looks really good.
It's a nice way to lower your car without suspension mods, because what I'm trying to do is actually fold the fender out, because then it's lowering the car a quarter inch, because what we're doing is we're making sure to not mess up the suspension kinematics and the geometry.
Did you say kinematic?
Yeah.
There's an E in there missing.
I'm from New York, I can say however I want.
Kinematics.
Yes.
This is such a rich flex. You got Ferrari LM's brand new AO52.
Oh my God.
The pinnacle of a 200 treadwear track tire just getting destroyed.
I know, I'm not happy about it,
Destroyed!
okay? Stop it, don't look at it. Guys, what we should look at is this. We don't plan this.
This
We're
isn't
just
even as bad as it usually is.
such generic white guys that we end up just dressing exactly the same.
You're wearing black socks? Nice, I'm wearing green socks to match mine.
Alex takes pictures of cars and I was like, dude, we're gonna get to go look at an F50 and potentially drive it. So you gotta come. Because you actually shot that F40, which was like unbelievable.
Yeah, honestly, I was editing those photos last night after 2.5 years of forgetting about.
But it's a crazy world because I have seen a couple of F40s in the wild. I've never seen an F50 in the wild
I've never
before.
seen an F50.
Yeah, seeing that thing on the street, I never take pictures of car, ever. I like see something on the street while I'm driving and like bust the phone out. I was literally driving and I was like, ah! I was like, I have to take a picture of this. Oh, here she is.
Hello.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Colleen?
Yes, this is my place and I sell exotic cars, so I have quite a few fun toys in there.
And you were the one that we saw driving this F50 around on the street.
Yeah.
So we're at her shop called Next Generation Classics, where they actually have the F50 inside and a bunch of other crazy cars. So let's go check it out. You've got a Lancia Delta Evo? Before we even get into this, like this is a casual, low-key flex that I don't think many people out there are gonna understand how special of a car this is. Can you tell us about this real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. So Lancia was super successful.
Wow, you know she's a real one when you say Lancia, because I still say Lancia, because I'm basic. 100%. It's Lancia.
Well, I own one of these myself as a daily driver. I'm pretty obsessed with the Deltas. They're one of my top favorite cars.
Damn, we should have brought Ron. Our friend has a 16 valve that he bought in Spain, and we actually went to Europe to go like buy it and drove it on the Nürburgring and stuff.
And then he blew it up.
And then it blew up.
I blew mine up too.
Oh, nice. Is yours an Evo?
No, it's not. Mine is just a little 8 valve.
Oh, sick.
But the cam belt snapped. I like to be an eternal optimist. This is the perfect time to drop a 16 valve in there.
Nice.
And that's sick. I love them. They're so cool. But we could probably nerd out on this thing for like
hours. Why are we here?
So let's look at this F50. This isn't just any F50. When I saw it on the road, I was like, that's just a red F50, which is already crazy, considering they only made 350 of these in the entire world. This is actually even more rare.
Yeah, so out of all the F50s, most of them were your traditional Ferrari red, the Rosa Corsa. They made about 31 in yellow, and they only made 8 in this color, which is Rosa Barchetta. So it's a
eight cars ever in the entire world.
How many white E92 M3s do you think was there?
I think there's like, not even kidding, I think white E92 is like 14,000. So put that in perspective, that's like sort of a rare car. 8. There's almost 8 people here. It's a crazy number. And honestly, on the street, I didn't notice it, but in person, in this lighting, this color is amazing. I actually think it's nicer than Rosa Corsa.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's a way more rich red.
It is. It's darker. It has a little more purple in it, so it really pops. Especially when you put this next to a Rosa Corsa car, you can really tell the difference.
Yeah. And for all you guys out there that don't know much about the F50, either did I, but I looked up some information.
Some cool facts.
In 1995, this car was the last ever production car to have a Formula One engine in it. So it has a 500 horsepower, 4.7 liter V12.
Insane.
That revs to 10,000 RPM. Like,
really
that's unbelievable to have in a road car.
Yeah.
So it weighs 2,700 pounds.
Wow. We got to just go look at this. I've seen a lot of F50s, and I think they kind of look goofy in some situations. Most of the time you see them, they don't have the top.
Yeah.
The top looks so much nicer.
Yeah, because the F50 was made as a convertible, the hard top, they have a soft top option. It's really goofy. I mean, I've seen them on them. They look ridiculous.
So they had a soft top for these as well?
Yeah,
Amazing.
so the soft top is goofy. We have it for this car, but why would you put a soft top on when you put
Oh,
the
it
hard
looks
top
so
on?
cool. So is this like an option or they all came with it?
They came with it, and the nice thing is it's this whole piece right here. So when you take this off, you still have this section that goes on, and you put the hoops on, and then you still have some protection.
That's all factory, right? Carbon
Yes.
airbox and stuff. And what I love about this, I don't think you can even pick it up on camera, is the way the Ferrari does their paint is it's like so thin that you could actually see the texture of the carbon fiber of the body. And it's not even like in like a crummy, cheap way where you're like, it doesn't look good. Like it's a perfect weave and there's just like a slight amount of texture that you could tell it's like a composite,
Yeah.
which is so cool.
So a little
see the
fun
reflection?
story on that. When the F40s first came out, they had that very thin paint. A lot of buyers were like, this looks cheap, what the heck? And
Yeah.
so as the F40 production went on, they started doing a thicker paint on it so you couldn't see the weave.
Yeah.
But then by the end of the production of the F40s, buyers were like, no, we like seeing the weave because we can tell it's original paint. And so for the F50, they went back to the thin paint with the weave.
That's so funny because my car, I have the 997 GT3 RS, and when that car came out, it had a single mass light flywheel, which chatters. Like it sounds like the car is falling apart on the inside. And when people first bought those, they'd bring them back to the dealer and be like, my car's broken.
Yeah.
And then later on, everyone's like, oh, we want the single mass, we want the chatter, you want that visceral connection. But
Yep.
back in the day, you spent $150,000 on a GT3 RS and you start it and your partner or someone gets in the car and they're like, what is wrong with this thing?
Yep.
Is it falling apart right now?
This has the same kind of thing because the engine is bolted to the rear firewall and it has the cam chain. And so it makes the same kind of noise where you're like,
Hell yeah.
is this supposed to sound like that? But it's so loud and amazing.
Oh, yeah. Well,
So-
we're going to have to fire this up. Can we pop the
Definitely.
hood? Can we pop the engine place?
Compartment? It's just crazy how much car is back
How do you
here.
even do this?
Look at this. Whoa.
Oh, snap.
Every
Oh my
possible,
God, are you kidding me?
Every possible thing is Kevlar.
So go ahead and pull that one forward. There.
Oh, it's
I
it's
do-
like one of those tables.
I do love that, yeah, like you have carbon everywhere and they're like, we're not gonna put an actuator, we're gonna do
Right.
we're gonna do this. This is actually an improvement from the F40 because on an F40 you almost need two people to like lock it
Yeah.
up, right? Yeah.
Can you imagine how loud this thing is without those giant suitcases?
Right.
Wow. First off, what I love about this car is Colleen said that it has 15,000 miles on it. So this thing has been used, it's been tracked, it gets street miles, but it looks brand new.
Yeah.
And it's so much to take in. This is the craziest engine ever.
And the suspension, everything is just, it's so wild.
Yeah,
man.
the suspension is bolted to the transmission because it's a stress member. It's got two intakes that are like carbon fiber air boxes on the
Cool.
side. Truly, it gets so much to take in. To put it into perspective, 4.7 liter V12. Your truck
Yeah,
6.0.
really like 7 liters.
Is it, your Denali has a 6 liter V8. This has almost half of that and 4 more cylinders. Like it's insane how, and that's why it makes that crazy noise. The 360 was
Pretty
really
quiet.
boring with a stock muffler on it, and then we put an exhaust on it. And it's
Right.
like instantly the
Come
coolest car
alive,
ever.
yeah.
And we say it sounds like an F1 car, but I mean we're really reaching. This actually will sound like an
Probably,
F1 car
yeah.
because it's from an F1 car.
Yes. Basically, the entire car is Formula One derived. Then they actually used the same engine in Ferrari's 333 SP, which was
They're
another.
the same.
I don't know, my tax bracket doesn't even know what that is.
They only made 40 of them.
Oh, geez.
And so it's a SP is sports prototype. And so it's just another crazy car. They used it in the F50. So it is pure race derived, everything about it, from the engine to even the interior. You don't have no power windows, no radio, and ABS.
Oh, this is phenomenal. Can we look at the interior? I've never seen an F50 outside of like a Doug DeMuro video. This is kind of insane.
Simultaneously.
Inside the Ferrari F50, oh my God, more
Those
carbon
seats-
fiber.
Those
Jesus.
seats are wild.
Yeah, these are nuts. It's a really small cockpit as well. I love that it has a harness bar like tucked in right here. But it's got full carbon fiber floors, carbon fiber door panels. I mean, carbon everything again. Is that original, the headliner?
Yes.
That's kind of cool. It's got like a quilted.
Was it not cardboard like your 360? Sorry. It does look nice.
What did I do to deserve it?
Inspo.
Yeah, right? Maybe we do something like
Shop
that
the look.
instead of the cardboard.
What's crazy is though, so I was editing those F40 images last night, but that was like a full fixed back, Kevlar back. This seat somehow looks older. It's crazy. It's just a crazy.
But probably
seat.
much more comfortable, which is the thing.
I don't know
right?
if comfort was taken into consideration.
I assume you've driven a lot of F40s as well, right?
Yeah.
So is this car more comfortable to drive than an F40?
It is in a way. They're kind of different beasts, you know?
Yeah.
The seats in the F40 are not as comfortable as this, but F40 seats came in different sizes too.
Yeah.
Well, I've driven some where they're the large seat in there, and I'm not a very large human, so
Yeah,
you know,
you're
you
just
kind of
flopping
flop
around.
around in there, which is never comfortable. These ones do have a little more like cushioning in the bolsters and
deep.
everything.
They're deep.
They're
It's like
so
kind
deep.
of a recliner. Like you
Yeah.
could throw it in a pool.
All right,
It's
so
awesome.
hot take. You have to pick one car to drive on a Sunday morning, F40 or F50. Which one are you taking?
F40.
Why?
That's what
love
everyone
the
thought.
F40.
Why?
Well, they are both so much fun to drive. I love this car, but the F40 was one of my poster cars
Yeah.
as a kid,
Yeah.
and so it just hits different for me.
Yeah,
you know,
because I'm an F40 fanboy for sure, but something about an NA V12 is like, I couldn't imagine anything could beat that engine ever.
Now, if I really had to choose out of the big five Ferraris, I would choose.
I don't know what are the five?
What are the other ones?
Is a Pewter 360?
Is an Enzo in there?
It has to be an Enzo.
288 GTO, F40, F50, Enzo, and LaFerrari.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, besides the first one, I think I could have guessed those. Yeah, Pewter 360 wasn't in it.
Still
though.
going, yeah, F40 for me all day.
I would choose the 288.
Really?
That is, I
Okay.
love it. But I'm also more drawn towards those raw, visceral driving cars.
100%, yeah.
So the less like granny assistant and like all that in a car, the more into it I am.
The crazy part is there's not a ton of these cars on the open market. So I was doing some research into like what F50 sold for. They don't change hands that often. And on record, the last public sale of an F50 was $5.38 million in 2022. And that was a Rosso Corsa car, which means this car should probably be worth more.
Yes and no. So these cars are very temperamental value-wise. So we are selling this car, we're asking 4.8.
Casual.
But it was painted by a previous owner to yellow, and so we had it repainted to the Rosa Barchetta, which is the correct original
I could
color.
only imagine how much that costs.
We did the restoration on this car. It just finished up last year, like August it was finished, and it cost about $775,000.
$775,000 restoration of a car. In most of America, that's a mansion.
Yeah.
Like, and then it's just into the car. But it's crazy. You said that this car was actually tracked a ton early in its life. It was raced wheel to wheel,
Yeah.
and it was painted because I don't know what they were exchanging hands for in like the early thousands, but like regular rich people could afford these
Yeah.
back in the day. Now you have to be like a billionaire. Like to buy a $5 million car, you have to be a billionaire for
and
sure.
then drive it.
And which is why my mind exploded when I saw this thing out on the street, because I was like, who is driving an F50
Right.
on the public road at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday? Altimas are just smashing into everything.
That's every day.
Yeah, it's every day.
Right.
You know, it's one of the things we talk about a lot on my channel is like car values and stuff like that. And it's really nuts that the further you get into such an expensive car, things like a repaint or like some previous track use and stuff will diminish the value of the car, even though it's absolutely perfect, because the people who are going to pay $5.3 million want one that was never painted or whatever, but you could save almost $500,000 and get one that's perfect,
It's a driver.
absolutely spotless, and you could drive it. And honestly, what I love about it is if you can afford the car, it means you can drive it, rock chip the front of it, and then you can get it painted because it wasn't original, and you can get it fixed. They can still be perfect, which is like, I think there's a lot of freedom in that.
I do too.
Can we fire this thing up?
Sure.
Oh my God, it's so close. Oh my Lord, look at this fucking lineup. Dude, I thought that bumper was gonna hit the ground, and I clenched my butt cheeks. I think it has more presence outside.
Yeah,
it looks nuts.
nuts.
Why is it even parked next to the 360?
That's like I said, you bought in, you're in the club.
I'm in the club.
You're in the club.
Yeah. Where's my key? Mufflers cut off. Can we just pull them off real fast? It's crazy how much they like tone it down.
Yeah.
But I guess this thing would friggin' scream without huge mufflers.
It really would. It would, you know, if you had no mufflers like that on it and then started up in the morning to go to car shows, you'd really tick off some neighbors.
So what's the next move with this car? It's for sale.
Yes.
And then what do you replace it with?
We always get in such a wide variety of cars, and so kind of never know what's gonna come into the showroom next.
No, honestly, I got this beautiful green E36 with the LS3. I think it would look great in your collection, so we'll just drop it off, figure it out.
Absolutely.
Bummer we didn't get to take that 50 out on the road today, but kind of expected. It was a 50-50 shot because the weather's been pretty bad here recently with a lot of rain, so the roads are pretty dirty. It's like the middle of the day during the week, so there's a lot of traffic out. So I get it. Driving a $5 million car out on the street is a big risk. It wasn't worth it, but hey, still cool. Got to check out the car. Never even seen one of those in person before. Pretty sick. But while we're in town, I figured we'd go check out another big Ferrari guy who's right down the block. He actually helped me put the exhaust on this thing. I don't even think he's heard it yet, so. Dude, what's up? I realized that I haven't came by to show you how the car sounds.
You gotta take it for a spin, it sounds insane.
Dude, it's so good. Oh my God, I don't even want to look at those. Top secret. Dude, you gotta hear it though. Hang on.
Grandpa Gold's not too bad now.
Shut up. Everyone's trying to convince me to keep it Grandpa Gold.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
Good, but it's not bad.
My big
Mike
Ferrari
Burrows.
guy, Mike Burrows.
Ferrari guy down here.
Have you seen his Ferrari? We mentioned it on the last episode where Mike helped me put the exhaust in, but have you seen this thing? Most importantly,
She's the VIP.
the shop dog. This is Mike's Ferrari 308. It's got a Honda K series in it.
Technically
Still?
speaking, at the moment, it doesn't have anything in it.
Oh, is the motor not in it right now?
I blew it up.
Is it
but,
getting another K?
Yeah, so a new K is on the way. I'm going K20 instead of K24, but it should be here, I think, next week.
More revs?
More revs, more boost, a little bit less power, smaller turbo, more reliability.
Less lag too?
Less lag, yeah.
That's
I'm gonna go
kinda
from the G42, which is sitting around here somewhere.
G42 on a
G42
4-cylinder in a car that weighs what?
With me, ready to race, it's like 2630.
That's
So,
ridiculous.
So Mike built this car here on his channel with all this crazy stuff and then shipped it to Australia. Raced it at World Time Attack.
And now it's
Yeah,
back.
I guess like quick rundown, it was originally an 81 308 GTB-I. So it had like the terrible injected motor in it that made literally 200 horsepower. It was junk and weighed a ton. The entire engine and driveline, I pulled it out 850 pounds. Crazy heavy.
Holy
So-
crap.
That's
Yeah.
so much weight.
Dude.
So ripped that out, went K-Series, ripped everything else out, got rid of the only Ferrari parts left on the car is a steering column and a steering rack. There's not literally a single other Ferrari part left.
Like mechanically, other than like aesthetic stuff.
Yeah, I mean like the body, but
Yeah.
even technically speaking, the body's Pininfarina, not Ferrari. So
Oh.
I mean even like the control arms and the uprights, we custom designed all those. Everything. There's not much Ferrari left.
And the engine is beautiful in the back. I wish we could see it, but
Yeah,
that setup is insane.
Imagine for a moment, picture here, pretty K series that makes a bunch of power.
I'm not a livery guy either, but I just think this looks pretty sick this way.
Yeah, just breeze over this thing, but Jesus Christ.
The depth trap, 31 Model A, has a blown Coyote in it. It's got a Jericho NASCAR gearbox.
We actually did a build breakdown on this on Hoonigan like in 2018 or 19.
Yeah, it might have been like right at the beginning of 19,
Yeah.
somewhere in there. And it's just about done again. I ran it into a car, so had to rebuild it all.
As you do.
Waiting on a few parts.
Is there a block of wood in place of a strut?
Yeah, stuff happens. We're waiting on some new...
It's a Model A. He said it's a 1930 something.
As you're talking, I'm like, hold on. That is amazing.
No, we sent...
And nicely fabbed.
Yeah, right? It's like a
Mine would have been disgusting. I would have had tape somewhere like...
He's got a nice like little
partitioned
chamfered
it.
edge.
Yeah.
I
that's beautiful.
notched it. No, we since it was in an accident, I wanted everything to be like all sorted and proper. So H&R is building a new set of front coilovers, so that one's not there at the moment.
This is why I say I can't be a YouTube car builder, because I can't get my LS swapped E36 to work well, and like everything is off the shelf parts. And then you got Mike here, who like built his own control arms from his brain.
Can't even see it.
You say that you can't make your car work, but I'm 2 events for 2, blowing up a transmission and then blowing up an engine. So it's not working a whole lot
all
better.
you're proving is that cars are stupid. All right, we got one more thing left to do in this video, so let's hit the road.
Sandwiches? Is that...
Don't be complaining about my seats. Our buddy Coco is doing his like car reveal with Afternoon tonight at Lean Customs in downtown. So I pried the boy out. He busts out the JZX. Finally. With the, oh dude, hold on, you're blocking it. Leave us alone. You're blocking it. Dude, this thing's fully modded. It's got an intercooler now. All right, so we're gonna roll to downtown, go check out this car meet, event, art show. We're not sure what it is. What did you just say?
That was Alcantara.
It's not Alcantara. That's what's under the cardboard headliner in the Ferrari. Bro, you better not curve that KF, dog. You better not curve that KF. You're better off hitting the front of the Ferrari than curving that wheel. So the event was pretty cool, had a good time, but the music was super loud, so we couldn't film anything because we'd probably get hit with the copyright. But on the way home, we had a problem. And we got some bacon, boys. Jesus. So because I didn't properly roll this fender, I just kind of trimmed it. If you turn the wheel outward and you hit some compression, the tire tread actually grabbed the inner fender lip, flipped it out. We got some bacon, and it is not good. We're looking like we're gonna crack some paint. Well, that's it for this episode. A little bit different the type of content that we're usually making around here. So let me know if you enjoyed it in the comments below. Thanks everyone for watching. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Making videos every Thursday. But for now, I'm gonna fix this fender.